Good morning. What's up? Uh, all right. Oh, right. We got to play what I did yesterday. I think everything was on stream. I didn't really mess with it anymore, but this was. Yeah, that's basically what I did. All right. So today, hopefully going to just quickly, hey, Phase Station, what's up, dude? Good to see you this morning. I'm a little late getting started because it's my daughter's celebration of her birthday at school, so I had to drive her over there and pick up some Dunkin' Donuts for the kiddos on the way. Not that one. So crank up the ratio, release. Might be a bit much, but whatever. We'll just leave it. Okay, cool. So I was thinking today I'd use this as a kind of a template. Oh man, come on. It's a stream. I'm on stream. It's fine. And I made some little whatever. Um, I also went back to mess with it later and I had some good ideas for like a lead, but it just kind of stalled out. But that's all good. I have like 45 minutes today, so I'm going to try to take this, which I really like these chords. I think that might be my favorite thing about this song. But I'm just going to do as rapid fire splice sample grab kind of just go as fast as I can. So yeah, that's I think my favorite part of the song is the chords, but the whole thing is pretty cool. It's a old school electro kind of vibe. Um, I have not used Bitwig. It looks like a really great solution to a lot of the things that I don't like about Ableton. Um, I've never even tried Bitwig. Also, FL Studio looks amazing. I use Logic occasionally when I'm on a Mac. Key is this in, I wonder. Let's not worry about it. Let's just find some. I already used that. You know what? Actually, there is this here. Hold on. There was from this list of chord progressions. I think there was something that I thought was pretty good. Oh, who on this track? No, this is Mesto. This is the Mesto track called Caramel. It's just like a old electro thing. I did not make this. Oops, I brought in the whole thing, so it's got guitars on it. Too busy. Too happy. Not too gospel-y. Too gospel-y. So maybe this one is good. All right, so what is this? Did we? I think we already used that. Too interesting. Sweet child of mine. Uplifting. Poppy. Maybe so that could work. Let's just go with that. Oh, wait, one more. Yeah. Too familiar. That feels right. And I think there might be some sort of modification in there that can be done. Let's go with that. I think Billie Eilish is the answer here. Wonder what key she's in. Okay, so these are our chords. 5 major 7, 5 3 minor 3, 5 major 7, and this is currently in C, but we're going to put it in whatever key. This is in probably D sharp minor, E flat minor. Could be E minor. Let's try E minor. So we were in A major relative is A minor. So almost. Oh, this is taking too long. Let's go with that. Okay. So that is no. B flat minor. Cool. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. And so what does he do in this track? Um starts with that lead bass thing. Okay, so let's go get some stuff. Home. Genres. Electro. Do they have electro? I don't even know if they have electro. Electro. It's not, but people don't do it anymore. Electro house. Get rid of this. Okay, so. That sounds similar. Okay, let's put that on there. Cool. But there's no kick in it at first. So let's just take that out with the shaper box. Cool. Now we just need to put the hats back because we lost some. Hats. Oops. Try to go fast. Uh, 5. I have a 6 and 9. She's about to turn 7. All right, so we're gonna leave that in for this whole time. What does he do? He cuts it out here. So, all right, let's do that as well. And then kick in with this bass line, which has to match up with these chords that we're hoping to use. Okay, so let's just take the bass from that. That might be too upbeat. I don't know. What? Give me that. No, we're just gonna grab a bass line. We're not gonna do very much MIDI, I think. It's just I want to get something more complete finished than what I've been ending up with. So synth, bass, not synth, instruments, bass. Jeez, okay, bass, bass. And we're looking for loops. thing sounds the most like what we've got in this so far. Even if it's too busy. So what do we got? No, you go away. Why is this disabled? Oh, because that's on my... right, it's not. I think I wasted time finding those chords if we're going to use this. So then bring these back, I think. No, that goes like not here, here. And this one is, yeah, that has to come back, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. How come it's never on? It's like never on the grid. I don't know. Okay, so what do we got? We need the delay on there. I need to like remake that, but sustained. Yeah, having kids and making music is weird. They're like, why is daddy always in the basement? That's nice. Mine can't get into the studio. All right, so let's give it a real sound of some kind. I always like this stupid electro bass, which is already made and easy. Eileen, what's up, Eileen? Hanging with your dad in the studio. That's what's up. All right, cool. And so yeah, the other day my son came down for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or whatever, and he was just, playing out some notes on the keyboard on the Polybrute and turning some knobs and stuff. And I recorded. It was so inspirational. I mean, collaboration is what it's all about. It really doesn't matter who you collaborate with or what their level of ability is, but he also called the tape stop, which I felt pretty cool about. It was like trying to turn my kids into little producers. And where's that other drum loop? Here? Oh, right. We wanted this, just we don't want it here. Let's see if those fade into each other. Okay. All right, so we need more hats. And that probably needs to be a little bit different. Maybe, definitely. More hats, please. We got electro house and bass. We want hi hats and loops. Okay, so that could work. Where's this going again? Here. Definitely need something else in the background there. Cool. What is he doing at this point in the song? Really good. So I think I made my bass line a little too busy. There's sub clashing happening now. I apologize. So this is all supposed to be E minor, I think. Yeah. Fuck. Pardon. Sorry, Ayala. Eileen. Well, we'll just ignore the chords that we picked. Thank you, Jimbo. It is kind of like farting. And you know, like this also sounds like farting. Sometimes music should sound a little bit like farting. I mean, it definitely needs some stuff. I'm messing this up. All right, so what do I want to do? I want to make it like vibey, and his has other stuff. It's mainly the kick. Just need to find a kick and a snare. Little tiny kick, a little snare. Okay. Probably not right, but whatever. So open, unfiltered, which I don't think we want. So those could like alternate, but I need to filter this a little bit. Definitely add sub under it. This could be like the sides for this at this point, I think. So if we put this here, pass. Hopefully this doesn't do anything phasey because they're not the same sound. Why don't I hear it? Because there's no side information. Okay, so if we maybe try this guy. I don't know. Really doing what I expected to do. This thing is sort of taken over. Oh yeah, there we go. Did I not put a kick in there? Compensation for not leaving the studio? Um, I don't know. I mean, I try to disguise bribes as like fun suggestions. Like, let's do this, and then afterwards we'll do, I don't know. I mean, SCREEN time is always something kids seem to want, but I like experiences are the best if you can actually manage the time and the money of it. But like being like, we're gonna go to the even just like going to the coffee shop or whatever and getting some little treat. Just being out in the world with people is always something kids really want, although sometimes they don't know they want it. I need a snare. I don't know. How do you manage it? I don't have. I don't have the answers. Uh, Compensation for leaving the studio. Yeah. She wants to stay, or she wants to go. I assume she wants to go. Okay. So, I don't know. That's tiny, but it's not quite. We'll try it. Maybe if I make it quiet enough. Oops, that's not the right track. Put that on the wrong track, right? This is the wrong track. No, it's not. Okay. I don't know. Not sure. Um, what do you want to do, Eileen? What would you think your compensation should be for leaving the studio? There's like a vocal sample in this or something. That's why the intro. Yeah, the breathing. That was probably not a good pickup right there, but I can just do this. I think this is the right move. We shall see. That one's like really nice and wait, what the oh. Like how like female it sounds. What about the grocery store to buy broccolis? I don't like this, but whatever. Ah, this is getting away from me. I should just use like some kind of stupid riser. Well, yeah, I should stop fucking with this, messing with this. Sorry. Like that. Do I need another one? Probably. I mean, it's not. I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm probably messing up. I um, I'm just trying to get the sound. I could shape it later. Like I'm not necessarily considering how it will live in the next one. But that's a good point. Like, I guess if at the end of the day, that will also probably be high passed as that happens. So most of the reverb tail that remains will be sparkle. Might as well do it now. Or nothing if it ends up interfering with hats if those stay there, I guess. Starts from like here and then just goes up to there. And maybe even more so, like maybe it even goes like this. Neumann KH120s, two Yamaha HS10s, and two Yamaha SW118s from like 1990 or 19 something like that. But don't tell me that I need to fix my monitoring, please. Because I know it doesn't, the mix is not there. And like, whatever. I can't do both at the same time. I'm learning to do that, but I can't. I don't know how to do it. Like, I know what, anyway, we could talk about that another time. I like that. Oh, and I have a mix cube, and I have a second mix cube that I need to get set up. Right now, I just use that for mono, which I probably should check. Right. So that snare in there is annoying me. Hopefully that didn't just, damn it, I bet it did. It totally changed the character of my voice when I used that preset because I am not as expert as I would like to be at every single element of this. Should probably save this as part of my. I'll just save that as mix one now. Right. So what was I doing? I was trying to get rid of this stupid snare that I don't want in here. I only want the breath. And I was trying to do it simply and quickly. Yeah, nice. That 750 and the 310s look great. I used to have HS80s. I mean, I still do have them, but I really like the Neumanns. Um, have I don't have membrane absorbers, but that's cool. I have two. I mean, I guess I sort of do. Uh, I don't know if you can see them, and my room is kind of a mess. But where are they? Let me make this bigger real quick. Yeah, you can't really see anything. I'll clean it up and show it another day, or we can talk about it a different time. But yeah, I have two like what do you call them? Polycylindrical diffusers that I warped in a specific way. That are backed with they're like stuffed, but it's not touching the membrane, so they do function as membrane absorbers. I was amazed at first of all how much life they brought back into the room when I put them in, because I sort of angled them so there would be no slap back between them, but so that they'd give me a little bit of air, because I still need to do more reflective stuff in here. Um, I have got, the entire ceiling is R30 fiberglass. The front wall is largely R30 or R40, whatever. Um, and I have some corner traps in the front and in the back that are just gigantic. Like, I think the back ones are 4 feet by 3 feet, and they're just stuffed with, not stuffed with, but they're like loosely filled with fluffy fiberglass. And then I used some convolution to that I turn on and off. I'm not sure if it's off right now. Let me see. Yeah, no correction. So now it has the convolution on. I usually do a better job of mixing with the convolution on, but I do like to turn it off just to make sure I'm not losing my mind. It's like a fake ass Trinnov. Where were we? Trying to get this snare to go away. Right. Oh, come on. Okay. Blank slate. Yeah. Yeah, I have a Gearspace post I can link you to. I was like, kind of like, oh, should I be worried about this? Like, is this actually good enough? Is this accurate? Is this, but the testing checks out. And then everybody was like, you would be insane to change anything about that. So I just sort of said, okay. I mean, the one thing I would like is a little more high frequency decay, like diffusion on the back wall, and perhaps even another switchable convolution reverb to like add different reverb back into the room. So because it is pretty dead, and I'd like to try this. I mean, it's not something I think that is necessary or important, but it'd be fun to do. Basically, you take a laptop, put it at the back of the room with a reference mic pointing forward, and you just run a convolution of a nice sounding space or various convolutions. And so whatever it hears, it just plays back. And it's just like, plugged in, just the highs and a studio monitor, just something to like help with ear fatigue. But anyway. All right. I'm feeling more like this is a thing. This is something. It's not this. Oh, I guess I put that in my side chain track, so the muted kick is side chaining the reference track. I should probably put this in metric AB, but I am frequently frustrated when I actually use the AB functionality of it. Okay, so our levels are so far off. They're not actually that far off. Just needs more sub. Needs some sub. That cool, like, whop chord. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bass up here with the kick to use this to processing that I already have here. I'm going to try this. Probably not going to work, but we'll give it a shot. And kick goes to not bass, but electro bass. Yeah, okay. Not track in shaver box. Okay. Should we give that sides, or no? We already decided it's going to be mono until this happens. But then we should compress this with that. Put all this on the group, probably. I have to stop soon. I guess, do these need to be compressed before they go here? Probably. I don't know. Like not doing anything because it's so sustained. Whatever. All right, and then this can go up. That just totally changed the compression. Right. this just needs more out. What the hell? Shouldn't that be affecting this? What am I doing here? Gotten lost in my own template. There we go. Okay. Why is that showing that? That's so weird. Like, why is it kicking in way before it looks like it should? Weird. Is it the clipper? It doesn't matter what it looks like. Okay. And this is still working, right? No, it's not. That's why. All right, and now we need a sub. Okay, that sounds kind of cool. I think it's happening. All right. I think I'm done working on this for now. Let me just hang out for a minute. If you want to talk about any stuff, I could talk about it for 5 minutes before you go to work. Before I go to work. We're not going to work together. I mean, we could work together, but not today. Um, so yeah, uh, I use the Dave Brancato room treatment method to get the convolution. I'll put a link to that. I'll put a link to this track. I'll just put the YouTube, probably easiest because that is. I'll do. Here's the extended mix. And Dave Brancato, room correction. This guy. Well, here's the link to the Gearspace thread on it. And then my thread is in here somewhere as well. I'm my username is Grove Stand, but let's see. My threads. Oh my god, this is so old. I think it's this one. And I would recommend probably going to the very end because there's lots of me like learning and messing things up on the way. But that has some of my studio build in it and some of the most recent adjustments and modifications that I did. Whether they were advisable or not, I'm not sure. But the end result, after a lot of experimentation, I'm pretty happy with. There are pictures of it there from when well, they're sideways, but when it was all nice and neat-ish. I missed that. But yeah, anyway, I'll just go ahead and fast forward to the end for whatever. This is pretty close to what it looks like now, except I did add a cloud, which helped with some weird SBIR stuff right here. This was such a nightmare. I couldn't figure it out forever. And that helped with that. And then the convolution seemed to do a bit to get the rest helped out. And at the very end of the day, this is what my waterfall looks like. So there's still some stuff at 45 and 38 has a long ringing amount, but you know, it's a lot of that is actually just ambient noise. It's hard to tell when you get that low. Like if the furnace kicks on or something like that, you're going to get something. And then there's still this little bump here, which I think is a multiple of this 30 hertz null, which just rings out forever. But yeah, this is the, I think, corrected and super like fake graph where you show, 1/3 octave smoothing at the maximum resolution to make it look as pretty as possible. And to make it not look as pretty as possible. I think this is like before. This is a zoomed in one. So this is only from 63 to 87. Which shows you that and one of my speakers needs to go back to the factory to be recalibrated. I never did that because I have the older KH120s and they have analog correction pots inside of them. So there's no DSP to fix. But basically, if you look at the top and the bottom for either of these speakers, like the low, or I guess we could look at them together. That's easiest. So the low is 81 point, we'll call it 81, and the high is 87, lower than 87. So that's 87 minus 81 is 6. That's plus or minus 3, which is like, as far as frequency response goes, that's stellar. That's insanely good. And then the decays, as I mentioned, they're not perfect, but it all gets pretty blue pretty quickly, so it's within like a safety zone. And that's with the convolution, and somewhere in here I have it without, but I did give you the link so you can go look at it. That's the back of my room with all the sawdust. These are the polycylindrical diffusers I was talking about. 1/3 octave smoothing isn't fake. No, I mean, it's real. It just looks real pretty, especially when you zoom it way out. You're like, oh, look, this is like the way that they tell you how headphones respond. Um, but I made this up totally. These are totally my own made up invention. Basically, it's just two cleats with slots cut down the middle, a piece of hardboard, and then I screwed some supports and tried to get them at the angle where there's really only one surface that you could expect a parallel interaction from, like just one little point. And I mean, at that point, I think the diffusion is going to be enough to make it so that there's really no ping. I've done voiceover recordings like smack dab in the middle between those two, and there's no slapback. So it's pretty great. I mean, the one thing I'd say is the room is a little bit more dead than I would like. Uh, and the and it's dusty and inconvenient because I never went to the trouble to actually put the fabric up and finish everything and make it pretty and do better lighting than what I have here with the clamp. I still have like those clamps are still holding boards that have the lights on them to the ceiling because I just want to make music. I don't want to build studios anymore. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I got these two doors here. And even with the 4 subs going at like 85 dB, which is much louder than I monitor, you can only hear, if you're like upstairs in the bedroom, you can only hear a little bit of, what do you call it? Just a little bass if you have your head against the pillow on a bed. You can't hear it if you're walking around. And so I can pretty much mix with decent levels in any time, day or night. And whew, that was a lot. Okay. Size, length, and width and height. So my height is unfortunately about 7.5 feet. As I said, the whole ceiling is covered with R30. It was 8 feet to the joist or to the bottom of the subfloor above. But yeah, so they're 2x12s or 2x. Wait, was it 8? It was higher, I guess. It was about 8 feet to the joist, or 7 feet 11 inches or something. And then I put resilient channel and OSB, and then I did green glue, and then I put sheetrock attached to the OSB. The length is so it's 7.5 feet to the ceiling, 11.25 feet wide, and then 24 feet long, something like that. I don't know. I did what I could to make it as long as possible to drive the first order fundamental room mode as low as I could, because I knew I wanted to use subs. And right now my subs are in a really strange arrangement because that's just where the sub crawl put them. But there are 2 little subs, front, left, and right on the floor, and then the 2 gigantic 18-inch subs are behind me facing forwards because that's where it measured best. And I did want to get a little bit of that low frequency extension to get some rumble just for whatever. Yeah. I mean, and I think that realistically, without active tuning, without active traps, or I guess really precise Helmholtz stuff, I don't think there's much I could do about that. And I did a few experiments with membrane absorbers that I built myself. I only built one because it's such a tough thing to do. Like if it's a lot of carpentry and a lot of effort to seal a cabinet and build it, and then you might have to just cut it up into pieces if it's not right. And it's really hard to do the calculations for what it's specifically going to be. I measured every like point on the walls all the way down, and I had this sort of plan of doing what's his name? Boggy. The some sort of tuned diffusers over broadband absorption where basically you'd get a hybrid diffusion and Helmholtz functionality of it, where you would get specifically tuned treatment for each part of the room to deal with whatever acoustic problems existed at that point in the room. But after I looked at how much space I would lose, it was just I would be in a little tiny cabinet, and I do occasionally want to have other people in the studio. Uh, so yeah, um, I don't know. I guess I mean the easiest thing in the world is just, or the best thing in the world is just to add a bunch of subs. I think that would be another option actually. 34. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they have to be big to deal with those low frequencies, and if you don't have 10 grand to spend on four AVAA, I don't know how to pronounce it, the $7,000 trap active ones, it's like, bruh. I guess you can make them. Apparently, you can make your own. Like, just take a powered sub, a reference mic with a USB, and a laptop or something, or maybe like a. You could probably do it with a Raspberry Pi. You can make your own. Or, but at that point, it's sort of like you spent all this money. You might as well just get like a Trinoff system and have all your speakers managed by it. Because in the Trinoff, they use each speaker is not only producing sound for you to hear, it's also uh, acting as an active bass trap, which is so insanely cool. Um, there's some latency to be expected with that. I think this Dave Brancato thing is a pretty good free middle ground. It does have some inconvenience to have to run convolution and stuff, but yeah. I mean, they're really expensive, but they also effectively drill a hole in the wall of your studio without letting any sound out, which is pretty freaking cool. Um, I had this idea, like, what would be like the portable mastering studio that you could like just drive it somewhere and set it up and be like able to master in like almost any space. It was like, so you could have like, it does. It does help with decay times, which is why it introduces latency, because it uses convolution. So it acts on the sound over time as opposed to trying to do some sort of, what do you call it? Sonar Works, or what's the other big one that people use for tuning like PAs and also studios? I can't remember the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, anything that uses, filtering, traditional filtering is going to cause phase issues and not function in the time domain. But so the only solution I think that science is aware of, other than active treatment or passive treatment that's very precisely tuned, is using convolution, because it runs over a period of time, taking the predicted response of the room and inverting it and playing it back. So the only issue with that is that, like, theoretically you could get your decay times freed up and looking good you know, out to 5 seconds, but you'd have at least a 5 second delay for any audio that you had to run through that, because it has to process it, you know, it can't process it in advance until it knows what it's gonna be playing. But yeah, so anyway, I gotta go to work. But thanks for tuning in, and thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I would like to see and talk to uh you at another time offline. So send me, I'll friend me on Discord or something, and we'll connect. All right, and what else? Bye, Eileen. No candy. You don't want candy. Get something sweet that's delicious. That's good for you. I don't know. Candy's also delicious.